Hey everyone, it's Sarah live here on Facebook. I am the owner of Virtual Biz Partner, and I just wanted to jump on and do this really quick video because I just did an awesome webinar for a bunch of amazing women that had questions about getting started working from home as a virtual assistant. And I'm sure some of you have that exact same question, and there's a lot of information out there. And some of you may not even know what a virtual assistant is, so maybe you haven't seen the information out there. But if you're wanting to work and trying to figure out how to get started, my suggestion is to get started as a virtual assistant because many online business owners do need help running their business. They just have too much to do. So if you're curious what a virtual assistant is, it's simply a person that works remotely for a small business owner. And so most often it's, from your home and doing administrative type work. There's all kinds of things you can do though, other than just administrative things. You can do social media, you can do things with blogs, research, copywriting. I mean, the list could go on. But what I'm going to do is I want to give you 5 simple things you can do to get started, because I just did this webinar, and what I realized is a lot of people are really hearing some conflicting information. There's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of things they're telling you to do that you don't need to do. So here's what I'm going to tell you. The first thing you need to do is, and this may seem kind of strange that I'm telling you this is the first step, but if you're not single, so if you're married, if you have kids, if you live with your significant other, the first thing you need to do if you are looking at working from home, whether it's as a virtual assistant or anything, you need to talk to your family. You need to talk to your spouse, your significant other, and you need to have their support because it is going to be a little bit of a change trying to work schedules if you're still working a job and maybe you're doing some of this work in the evenings or weekends. And there's going to be less time as you're building this business. And so you really want them to be on board and supportive. They don't have to understand all the specific work you're doing necessarily, but you at least want to have a conversation, let them know what your plan is. And if you do have a family and if they're concerned that you're not going to have time for them, then you need to sit down as a family and decide, okay, what time is going to be family time and then what time is going to be work time where you're actually doing stuff for clients. So first step, get their support. If you're single, then it's easy. You don't, it's just you. You don't have to have anybody else to get on board. The second step is that you need to figure out how much time you can actually work. How much time do you have in your schedule? Some of you, like I said, if you have a family and you're currently employed, then you do have limited time. So if you only have 5 hours, if you only have 10 hours, if you can only work when your kids are at school, and I know summer's coming up, so that can change things, you need to be really clear on how much time you can work, because if you don't get this figured out and you start working from home as a virtual assistant, you can quickly become overwhelmed and frustrated and burnt out because you didn't really figure out how much time you could work. You're just doing things as they come your way, and it can get really, really overwhelming. And then the third thing is you need to decide on what your goal is. So most often the goal for someone is going to be an income goal, like you need to make a certain amount a month, or you want to cover your house payment, or you want to, maybe you want to quit your job and you want to replace your salary that you're making from your job, whether it's part-time or full-time. You're just wanting to replace that income. So that's the third thing, is deciding that goal and being very specific. So if you do want to replace your full income from your job, then what you likely need to do is set like 90-day goals. You need to look at, okay, this is going to be a transition. So I need to make, $1,000, and then I need to make $2,000 a month, whatever that's going to be, so that you know what you're working towards. And then the fourth thing that you're going to do is you're going to decide on your skills and your rates. So your family's on board, you figured out how many hours you can work, and you know your goal now. So now you need to figure out, well, what services am I going to provide? If you're like, I have no idea, then just start out doing general administrative work. That's the most common type of virtual assistant that clients need. And then you may be asking, okay, well, what does that virtual assistant do? You're going to do things like research. You might do a little customer service. You might help manage their email inbox. You may do some editing and proofing of writing. You may format blog posts. There's a variety of things you can do. And even if you don't have experience yet, I promise you, you have skills and things to offer. So if you communicate clearly and you're detail oriented, you're great with your time, if you learn fast, then communicate that to those clients. And they're usually willing to let you learn the actual skills of like certain technology and things like that. And then, like I said, know your rates. So what are you going to charge for those skills? You know, set your hourly rates, and so that you know the types of clients you want to work for. You know, if somebody has a listing and it's for a job listed and it's for a too small, you know, an amount of money, or it's just an hour here, an hour there, that's not going to get you towards your goal. So don't even spend time of trying to get that client. And then the fifth step is just to jump in and do it. And you may be thinking, well, wait a minute. You said 5 things. There should be way more to it. I'm going to tell you, do not build a website. Do not worry about having your branding. Do not worry about choosing a niche or having a specific industry that you work with. I'm telling you right now, that is a waste of time. And I will argue with anybody who tells otherwise, because when you're getting started, all you need to do is focus on getting that first client. I went, I think, 2 years of my business without having a website. And there's so many reasons I could go into why you don't need to spend the time, energy, and money right now. But just believe me when I say you don't need to. I always suggest people use a LinkedIn profile instead of their website. That's just a little bonus tip. But those are the 5 things that I tell people to do when getting started. You just need to have the support of your family. You know how much time you actually have to devote to this and to do the work. And you need to figure out, you know, what is that goal? What am I working towards? And then you need to figure out your skills and your rates, and then just start looking for those clients. And you can do that in Facebook groups. You can find those clients on Upwork. You can find them on hiremymom.com. That's where I got my start. Networking with other people, local small businesses, other VAs that are subcontracting, connect with online business managers and reach out and see if they know people hiring. Those are just some quick tips on getting started. If people tell you anything else, I'm telling you right now, you don't need to do it. But if you do want to take it a little step further, I have a free guide that gives you 10 steps on getting started. So it includes a few more, some extra things you can do, and a little bit about like proposals and what to do on your LinkedIn profile and all of that. So I suggest you download that and the link provided, and you can get a little more information on how to get started. And you can Facebook group that has a bunch of other awesome moms that are starting their business from home and working as a virtual assistant, and they're figuring it all out too, so they would love supporting you along this journey. So check it out, and I would love to hear where you're at in your business, if you have a question, if you're stuck anywhere, and once you get that first client, I would love to hear all about it. Bye.